now. And in my world, it's going to create a transaction inside a GP. But keep in mind, if you're using BC, it would create that invoice transaction in BC. But that's really the end of the step of the process right now. And that document moves to what's called the completed step. But guess what? It doesn't do that now. It moves over to the payment review step. So if I come in here, here's that storage supply warehouse invoice that I just submitted into GP to create the payables transaction. It's now in the payment review step. But before I go in and do that payment review, I do want to just take a moment to show you what happens. And I'm going to go here to again, I'm in GP, but you can do this in Business Central as well. We're going to go down to this voucher. I'm going to go to the last one here. So here is, this is interesting. So here is that transaction that was created, and you'll see that it puts in the distribution, certainly puts in that distribution, and the payment is, the document is also attached, and I'd be able to see that as well. All right, so that's what happens in that process. So now what normally happens to you, right? We saw the polls. Most of you are still processing checks, whether that's on a weekly basis, twice a month, who knows, right? I don't know that, but you all know. So what's happening? You're running a batch, a payment batch, you're getting a payment journal. Maybe you're doing a query inside of PaperSave so that you can get those invoices in a view so that the person who says, yes, this is okay to pay, can identify them on that journal. Maybe they've got a stack of checks in front of them and they're now looking at the invoices electronically. If you're not using PaperSave automation tool right now, I can only assume that somebody has a check with a bunch of invoices behind it, paperclip, they're signing it, flipping it over, flipping through the invoices and so on. That's a lot of manual process. And then you have to stuff the envelopes, right? So now what happens? Now they get a notice, they being whoever is the person responsible for saying, yes, it is time to pay this invoice. They get notified by PaperSave via email. They come into their step of the workflow. And again, if that's all they do is they're the approver of those payments, when they come into PaperSave and click on this open workflow, it's going to take them right to that step. They're not going to have to filter or search for the documents. They're going to be right there.